Start this off. So yeah, just what the title says. I caught COVID after being fully vaccinated. Um, I had the Pfizer vaccination, the two-shot one. I'm what they're calling a breakthrough case. That means if you're vaccinated already and you still catch it, um, which they're claiming is very rare, uncommon. Um, how I caught it. Um, I went out of state for the first time, right? So I've taken this whole pandemic very seriously from the start. Never delved into many conspiracy theory avenues or whatever. And for the record, that's what I'm trying to avoid in this video. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't want to put opinions out there and cause a debate or insult people for feeling a certain way either way about it. So I'm just gonna stick to facts as they pertain to me and my story. Um, you know what I mean? And questions that I have because of this shit. So anyway, I have first of all, let me just show y'all, not bullshitting. Here's my vaccination card. Um, First shot was May 20th. Second shot was June 10th. And yeah, they say that it takes about 2 weeks or so to be effective. So I caught COVID on my first out of state trip, right? So it's strictly business too. This wasn't for leisure or nothing like that. I went out there for business. So I'm from Northern California. We drove down to LA, was there for a couple days. Then from there, we went to Phoenix, Arizona. So, um, yeah. So I went there with a group of friends. And then here's what's interesting. Two of us were vaccinated, two of us weren't. You know what I mean? Me and one other person were fully vaxxed. The other two weren't. Um, we were in LA from the 7th to 9th, and Arizona from 9th to 11th, the morning of 11th. So and then I got back home on the 12th. Well, on the morning of the 12th, one of my friends who was unvaccinated was already feeling symptoms, or thought he was. You know what I mean? I thought it was just being, exhausted from the road and all that traveling, because we drove all the way. So I didn't think too much of it. Plus, I'm vaxxed. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't thinking about it. Now, for a couple more days after that, after I got home, I was feeling fine. You know, he kept asking me about how I was feeling. I felt normal until the 16th. Woke up on the 16th with that little tickle, that little pressure in the eyes or whatever. I got bad sleep that night, so again, I wasn't thinking too much into it, but I was kind of like, oh fuck, okay. Well, I already know for sure, you know, my other people, my people ain't feeling good, so started noticing that. Man, I went to the gym. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like, I didn't think so, dude. I didn't think that's what it was, you know. So, um, probably want to know my symptoms, right? All it has been is basically just a stuffy nose. I just thought, the second day, the 17th, was when I was like, okay, no, this is a bug. You know what I mean? This is not just me being tired or nothing like that. It's a bug, and it was, I think the first day, it's like a congestion thing that kind of slowly took place. little headache. I might have broke a fever, but if it, you know what I mean, it might have been it might have been a mild fever for a little bit on the first day. Second day, no fever. I haven't had a fever since. Um, I lost my taste and my smell. Obviously, that's pretty common for colds and shit like that. Uh, on the 17th, I took the drive-through test. Whatever. I got on the 18th, I got the news back that I was positive COVID. Um, uh, so yeah, my symptoms have been there, but they've been very mild. I don't have any cough. You know, it hasn't affected my body. I haven't gotten the chills or sweats like my other homie. He said he got hella sweats and hella fever and a cough. So other than that, like I'm able-bodied. I'm isolating, of course, but I'm able-bodied, and it's just been a congestion thing, really. Um, and even today, so I started feeling symptoms on the 16th. So we're thinking I caught it probably somewhere. I think it was the LA trip. You know what I mean? Because it takes a few days, the little delay or whatever. But anyway, so it's been about 4 days since my symptoms, and I'm already not congested pretty much. I'm even starting to get my taste and smell back. Uh, so yeah, it has been mild, but here's my problem with it though. When I went into the pharmacy and got these shots, the the professionals there were telling me that this thing was 95% effective. You know what I mean? It had an efficacy rate of 95%. To me, that's pretty goddamn good odds, man. Like, feeling pretty safe, as has everyone else, right? And to the extent where they've been opening things up and hoping that this honor system works or whatever, that like if you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask to walk around and go into places. So let it be known, like especially my second shot, you know what I mean? First shot, I was still, you know, was cautious. But second shot with that 95%, that dictated how I moved for the next whatever. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was shielded. So and mind you, during the like last year, we did business trips too, out of state. I went to a wedding. We were careful. We had masks and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I went through this whole fucking pandemic, like 16 months or whatever it's been of not getting sick once. I get the vaccine. A couple months later, I make my first out of state trip and I catch it. Like, what is that? What is that 95% that they were talking about? You know what I'm saying? I thought I had pretty damn good odds. You know what I mean? So I was unmasked. I was living like it was 2019 again. You know what I mean? They didn't tell me. They didn't tell me otherwise. They didn't tell me that like, oh, 95% effective, but you still run the risk of catching COVID. I mean, yeah, you have that 5%, but like, what's the odds of that? You know what I'm saying? They didn't say that like what its main purpose is now shaping out to be, which is that it'll help you get react to it easier. Like if you do catch it, then you're gonna have mild symptoms and you're not gonna be hospitalized and shit like that. But here's where it snags though, because they were, especially with Pfizer, which I got, that had the highest. That was 95%. And they said that it's and news was saying that it's fucking it's effective against the new strain, the Delta strain, right? Which is now fucking there's outbreaks of it everywhere. Delta is the primary strain right now. So I'm guessing that you know what I mean? Like caught the Delta. Like, here's what's fucked up too is that, so like I said, we have a complete comparison right there. We had two vaxxed, two unvaxxed people going in the same places, right? I caught it just as easy as my two unvaxxed friends. I caught it the same time. There's my friend's symptoms showed up a couple days earlier. You know what I mean? My symptoms showed up about 3 days later. But come on, you know what I mean? The other alternative is that he caught it before the trip at home, and I caught it at home before the trip, and then somehow, nah. We went on the same trip. We went out of county, then out of state, and I caught it just the same, man. And the symptoms aren't too different. You know what I mean? One of the friends can't get the vaccine because she has lung issues. She's compromised. And she caught COVID. She's not on a respirator. Again, I'm not trying to get into the whole conspiracy about it not being a serious thing, because it is. But I'm just saying. So they had a little more of like the body thing going on. But after a couple days, dude, they started stabilizing. Their fever broke. You know what I mean? All this shit. Maybe my symptoms were a little less, but it's like, you know, people are telling me that now that I'm telling people about it, they're saying, well, thank God you had the vaccination, because if not, you could have been in the hospital or dead. You know what I mean? It's like, is it the vaccine or is it my able body? You know what I mean? You don't want to give credit to my immune system and how I have been treating my body. You know what I mean? That couldn't contribute to me having low symptoms, even though my friends who are unvaccinated, you know what I mean, barely got more symptoms. By no means was it critical. They all right. You know what I mean? So that is a little fucking weird to me. That's a little fishy. And I'm saying, like, again, 95% chance is what they gave me. And that's what I took it as. I took it as face value, just like everyone else is right now. Now, had they told me, had they given me a different, like a more kind of realistic number, like even if they said it has a 70% efficacy rate, that would have been enough. 30% would have been enough of a risk for me to be like, okay, well, doing these trips, I'm still masked up, and I'm not gonna be out in public gatherings. Like, it would have. That's what I'm saying. It would have given me more caution and ruled how I moved. You know what I mean? It made it a party, and now they got a bunch of people that are carrying, right? They got a bunch of vaxxed people who are carriers now, and this whole praising that it's mild, that it makes your symptoms mild, is not a fucking good thing. It's not a good thing. They're saying mild to little symptoms. So you got people asymptomatic, carrying it and spreading it with the confidence that they've been fully vaxxed. You know what I mean? And, you know, like in my case, like I even, you know, this was well after the follow-up period of 2 or 3 weeks for it to be effective. This is after that. So you got people that don't have any clue, and they're catching it just as easily. Like, I couldn't have been a better example for this based on what I did. You know what I mean? The trip that I did with who I did. It's right there in front of me. You know what I mean? This article my uncle sent me was saying how the 95% thing wasn't even accurate. They're saying that something like 0.04% of the people that they studied caught COVID after being fully vaccinated. So not only does my odds go from 5%, really, it's really what they're saying is that it should have. I'm in the 0.04%. Not even a fucking percent, man. Think about that. 5%, even like if I were to go to a fucking, if I were to place a bet on something and I was told that I had a 5% chance of winning, y'all would talk me out of it, right? You crazy. You're gonna fucking lose. You know what I mean? If you have a fucking 5% survival rate, if someone has a 5% survival rate in a situation, you're preparing for that person to die. Like, are you know what I mean? You're hoping for that 5%. Odds are pretty much guaranteed you can put money on it. It's gonna be so. My thing is that I was extremely unlucky. I struck the lotto. I got hit by lightning. You know what I mean? 0.04% chance. You know what I mean? Or at the fucking highballing it, 5% chance that it wouldn't work. In the first out of town trip I take, I catch it after fucking a year and a half. Or you know what I mean? Of of not getting sick. It's a little weird. Little weird, man. Um so as I'm still when I got home, I'm still confident that this shit wasn't happening. I went to the gym, I visited my friends and shit. I was feeling normal, you know, and that's fucking scary, you know what I mean? I feel hella bad for it. I feel like a dirtbag for that. You know what I mean? Um so yeah, the spreading is gonna be happening like a motherfucker. Like I'm seeing on the news, the cases are rising in all states, and now they're kind of some places are individually going back to mask mandates. I think here's what I think it is. Well, I pretty much know it is. It doesn't take rocket scientists. Um, they they really rushed the whole. For one, they rushed the efficacy rate. I think their projections were very ambitious. You know what I mean? Or they didn't have the right data or whatever. You know what I mean? But they instilled this hope in people. Second, I think they only lifted the mask mandate because of political reasons, because we had so many people that were tired of it, sick of it, and especially people that were vaxxed. It's like, again, when we think of vaccination, we don't think of, oh, we're still going to catch this thing pretty easily, but at least the symptoms, when we think of vaccination, we think like, yo, you're protected, you're shielded. These proteins are in you to already have these, you know, these parts to you that fight off this shit. You know, that's what we think. You know, we're being fed this information. You know, I was pressured into taking this goddamn vaccination. I didn't want to, but I knew it was the right thing to do. So now, in hindsight, it doesn't feel good. Like I feel really duped. You know what I mean? So anyway, like I was saying, I think the mask lift was more a political thing, just to try to ease up and make people happy. And but with that came dishonesty, dude. Dishonesty from anti-vaxxers. They just took that as an opportunity to fuck it. You know, that's one for sure. That's a big cause. But then also people like me that fucking got vaxxed and were just kind of clueless or ignorant to the reality of it. And now we're not only contracting it, but because of our mild to no symptoms, we're fucking spreading it and not even realizing it. So, and I think I saw something on the news. Cases are up 83.8% as of a couple of days ago in the U.S. Up 83.8%. They're saying unvaxxed people make up for 99% of that. Like People like me, the breakthrough cases are supposedly not even 1%, man. That can't be. That can't be. Your projections are off, man. And I get it. They're trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Because please believe I got the message from the CDC contacting me, and then I got from the Department of Public Health here in Humboldt. They contacted me, called me on the phone and asked me everything. Asked me about the trip, symptoms, and who. And here's where it gets hella fucking weird, man. It's as if it isn't weird enough, that I caught this shit after the vaccine. Here's what they say to me. The person from the Department of Health. They're saying, they said, had I not, okay, so I have mild symptoms. Based on the symptoms I told them, they said you only have to isolate for 10 days instead of 2 weeks, right? Starting from the first day that you've noticed the symptoms. So I'm currently on it, and I'm isolating until the 26th. But what she said was really fucking weird. She said that had I not had any symptoms, but my test still came back positive, I would not have had to isolate. This is the Department of Health here in Humboldt. She told me straight up, and I doubled back. I asked her over and over, like, how does this make sense? You're telling me. She repeated it over and over. If on this phone call I was saying that I had no symptoms, then I would have been okay to just be out there maskless doing whatever the fuck I want. So I asked her, what if I was lying to you right now? Because obviously, like you probably don't even look at me and hear me right now and really can tell. You know what I mean? What if I just lie to you? You could basically have fucking biological terrorists, you know what I mean? If they wanted to do that, you know what I mean? They really didn't give a fuck, they could lie. And apparently, I don't know, I showed that to a friend, and then they pulled up something from the CDC, which it didn't align with that. I don't know where this came from, but I know I heard her right. Yeah. So let that sink in, man. If I had no symptoms, I'd be out here free to go. I don't know what you were taught, but I was taught, like, if you have something, it doesn't matter that you have symptoms or not. Like, you're contagious. It's plain and simple. I don't know where that logic comes from. So weird. Man, well, did I have any other points, man? I'm just saying overall, I don't know what the whole thing is. I think the best interests are out for us, but I think they're fucking mistaken. I think they're jumping the gun on shit. I think they're giving people false hope, and then backtracking and saying, nah, we never said that you were 95% protected. 95% chance that you're not going to be on a ventilator or you're going to die. It's not what I fucking heard. I paid attention. Like, I don't like hypodermic shit. It's always traumatic to me. I didn't need to go in there twice. You know what I mean? If I didn't have to. If I had known I was going to catch it just like an unvaxxed person, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have. I got pressured into this shit, and I don't feel good about it. I feel deceived, but that's just me. Maybe they just didn't have the data, and now they're collecting data, and now they're showing that, yeah, these breakthrough cases, they're gonna find out it's more than they thought. They're still trying to say it's at under 1%, but I find that hard to believe. For me, my personal experience, it was more like a fucking 80% chance or 100%. I caught it. Like, it didn't matter. Like, I was cool for over, you know what I mean? Like it was like a year and a half, cool. Then went out of state once, and on business, wasn't no big ass raves or nothing like that, and caught it. So either I'm damn unlucky or they need to check the goddamn projections. They need to adjust it. And you know what I mean? So again, dude, I wasn't here. I got my opinions on the actual vaccine and what they shot into me and why. I have my opinions on that, but I'm not gonna go into there. Okay? I don't even wanna, I'm not opening those doors, and I'm not trying to pressure anybody either way, or you say don't get vaccinated. I'm not saying do get vaccinated. At this point, I'm saying your opinion on it is not stupid. As long as you're not going into these crazy conspiracy theories, these crazy ones that are very out there. As long as you have a belief either way, it's viable, man. You know, don't let them say that you're the problem, or you're stubborn and no, because I wasn't down with the whole vaccine idea, but like I said, to see my family and to keep performing and traveling and shit, I felt I needed to do it. I did it with the help of my uncle explaining it to me, and it was just a little weird to me, like, but I took their word for it, and now look. So, you know, they give you a bulletproof vest, right? And they're saying this is gonna protect you from bullets. You get in a gunfight, or let's say, better even yet, dude. You get shot once, and it goes through. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, well, at least you didn't die. Had you not had the vest, you probably would have died. Be like, no, I shouldn't have gotten. It shouldn't have gone through, according to what you said. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're kind of trying to do. They're kind of backtracking, and it's like a broken record, and it's really annoying. Like they're not correcting themselves and saying, well, okay, this is a problem. It's not as effective as we thought it was. You know what I mean? Maybe it is more like fucking 70% efficacy. You know? I guess it's too early in the game to tell, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they rushed this shit, and we've all been just wanting to just move on, dude. And they kind of made it seem like this was the way. So, yeah, man. Just be careful out there, dude, because we got people that are carrying it and don't know about it. Don't think that because you are fully vaxxed. Dude, I mean, Johnson & Johnson, they said that they gave that a 60%, or they're saying that it's showing that it's 60% effective. Johnson & Johnson, the shitty one, the one and done one, they're saying that's 60%. Right? They're saying the one that I got was 95%. It feels like I just got the Johnson & Johnson bullshit brand. You know what I mean? 60% chance. That would make more sense to me of why I caught it. If I knew it was 60% chance, I would have been masked the fuck up out there. Please believe it. You know what I mean? So don't think that this shit is the cure-all, end-all, right? That's my main point. Like I said, I'm not dealing in conspiracies or opinions. I'm dealing in facts as they've happened to me. And I'm saying, look, bro, maybe I'm part of that 0.04% or whatever it is, 1%. That's some damn lucky shit on my first out-of-state trip. So don't think it's a fucking shield. It's not. Now they're kind of slowly, if you look at it, look up COVID breakthrough cases. You're starting to see them acknowledging it. I mean, they've been acknowledging it since earlier this year, But I think they got a bigger problem on their hands. Obviously, and there's the 99% of people being unvaccinated, being consisting of them. That's not true. I don't believe that's true. I don't think it's 99%. I think it's more like, you know, I don't know, 75%. Then we got maybe like whatever, 25%. The remaining 25% of is actually fully vaccinated people. You know what I mean, or whatever you want to do. 20%, and then I don't, who knows, whatever the fuck, half vaxxed people that got fully vaxxed but went out before the 2 or 3 week period for it to set in. All these little fucking variables that they want you to pay attention to, or I think it just gives them some reasonable doubt, because in my mind, I'm pissed. I'm pissed that I had to do this shit. And do I want fucking boosters now? They're already talking about boosters. And I heard Fauci was actually kind of like, people wanted to go forth with boosters already, and Fauci himself was saying, nah, we don't really. It's a little too early. It looks like it's having good results and shit. So we'll hold off on it. Like, it's not. But I don't want to get a motherfucking booster now. What's the point? I guess like the ultimate thing will be like, after this, after I recover, am I gonna catch it again? That'll be the fucking real kicker. You know what I mean? So is my mild symptoms because I got vaccinated, or is it because I was healthy beforehand? I don't know. I guess we'll never know now, right? So what they're gonna tell you is that, nah, you owe all the thanks to this vaccination. Bullshit. My unvaxxed homies are right now recovering already. One was immunocompromised. One has lung issues. So there is serious shit to this, but it's also, there's inflated numbers here and there and every fucking where. It's all over the place, all scattered. All right. So this was just to be educational, and because this is crazy. This is nuts, man. Like, it took me by surprise, for sure. And I know there are many people out there that are wilding out for the summer, And I'm just saying, be careful. Be careful. Like, everybody got excited, from us at the ground level to them up there, the politicians, lawmakers, and all that. They're giving things out, retracting them, and then kind of backtracking and kind of, making it seem like you don't know what you're talking about. But, people told me not to speak on it, and I haven't been jumping into the political shit through this whole thing. But people told me not to speak on it, just based on, hypothesis and all that shit, have concrete things. Well, this is about as concrete as it gets, man. I'm walking proof of this, that there's the shit that they're putting in you ain't working as good as they say they are. Let's just put it that way. Maybe it's working for a lot of people. Didn't work for me. Right out the gate. Literally, man. So it's up to you in the end, man, whether you want to get it. It's weird, dude. It's a weird thing. I would recommend any way that you could reduce the risk of catching and spreading it, but at the same time, the shit failed me, so why would I fucking go say, yeah, get vaxxed? It's the only way. It's not the only way. You know what I mean? It's looking more and more like it's something that we're all going to catch. It might be, they were talking about maybe it becoming an endemic, I think is the word, where it's a seasonal thing, like flu. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's just got to prepare for it. You know what I mean? Some are going to catch it. Some ain't going to make it out that motherfucker. But you have, so they're kind of saying like that. So All I'm saying, keep the masks on, for sure. Masks have been and are I'd say masks are more efficient than their goddamn vaccinations. They're calling it the pandemic of the unvaccinated, and that's bullshit. It's pandemic of the fucking fooled vaccinated too. Like the not okay, it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated and the naive vaccinated. I think I said that right. Right? I was naive. I took I took it what they told me, and I just literally ran with it. My bad, but again, I would have been more cautious had they explained it more. So all this shit is it's bullshit, man. There's a lot of us out here. So again, man, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry that I had contact with anybody. Again, it was brief and shit like that, but had I known, you know, and it's also just a terrifying thing, dude. Like people need to be cautious that there could be people that are out there that are not honest and don't have a respect and value of the world and people in it, and they could use this for multiple ways. I mean, you already got people that are just just on personal choice of them not being vaccinated, just running around and taking off their masks because they got the room to do so. That's it's neither here nor there. It's not. I think it's not the coolest thing to do, but it's not a criminal thing. But you could have people like in my situation. All it took was me to be a little, or a lot more pissed, and I could have been like, "Hey, I'm gonna take my mild symptom, no symptom having ass." I could have been like, "Hey, I got barely a stuffy nose. If I go to the bar and I have a few drinks, that's gonna clear my congestion, and motherfuckers ain't gonna have any clue that I have this shit, and I could be doing anything, dude. I could be licking my hands, rubbing your glasses. I could be so there's dangers out there, dude. I just hope that anyone watching this, I hope that you're just careful and you're honest about it, and do your research, man. Don't let them pressure you, you know. And other than that, we gotta fucking show this data. Otherwise, this shit is gonna continue and continue. It's just you already see it. Look at the news, dude. It's up 80 something percent in pretty much every fucking state. So anyway, man. Sorry I made it this long, but I had a lot of points to catch, and again, I tried to be as factual and honest as I could. Yeah, there's still like this level of shame, dude. Like being, for one, this embarrassment of being duped. I mean, given this false hope, but then two, that I, that I wasn't cautious. I think everyone's cool, but this had to, my friends had to be notified, and they have to get tested. So shit sucks, dude. But lo and behold, I'm all right. Very mild. So I'll leave that up to you, whether you think it was because of the vaccine or because I've been trying to take care of my own health as best as I could. There's questions. I can't say either way. It's up to you. So, all right. I can stay educated. All right. Be careful out there. For real. Be careful.